Hi, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2, and I thought I'd be burnt out on making these videos, but there's still more in the Tian Xia book. So, Dokkaebi Goblin. It's a short lore, so just deal with it. The Dokkaebi Goblins, native to Tian Xia, found especially in Huanggo, are an idiosyncratic people as strange as the creatures of old ghost stories, yet simultaneously so common you could buy dinner from one. Okay. That sounds like a fun magical land to be in. I'd like some goblin biscuits, please. Dokkaebi have an intrinsic affinity for illusion-based magic, but use most of their talents to prank others. Aw, as they should. Dokkaebi are artisans at heart. They specialize in pottery, both decorative and utilitarian, sought by aristocrats and common folk alike. There's a very simple reason why Tian goblins developed such an interest in pottery. The infamous goblin love for fermented foods. That makes sense. Where Avistani goblins delight in pickling anything and everything, Dokkaebi prefer long fermentation, sometimes beyond what others might find palatable. 100-year egg, I'm looking at you. More information on goblins in general can be found on pages blah 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 of whatever. Goblin heritage. Dokkaebi Goblin, uncommon rarity. Your ancestors mastered illusion-based magic, giving you an innate understanding of it. You can cast Figment as an innate occult cantrip at will. A cantrip is heightened to a spell rank. You know how cantrips work. You also gain a +1 circumstance bonus to will saves against illusions. Perfect. That makes perfect sense. And look at that little guy. Looks like a little green demon. Is that Tetsubo? That is way too big of a club for him. Goblin Ancestry Feats. The following Ancestry Feats are available to goblins. First level, Dokkaebi Fire. Prerequisites, Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage. You can create illusory wisps of ghostly blue flame. You can cast Ignition as an innate occult cantrip at will. A cantrip is heightened blah blah blah. Your Dokkaebi Fire is purely illusory. While it emits light, it deals mental damage instead of fire damage, so can't light objects on fire or affect mindless creatures. And it has the illusion and mental traits instead of the fire trait. Interesting. Special. If you have the Burn It feat, its effects apply to your Dokkaebi Fire even though it deals mental damage. Dokkaebi consider these flames as real as any mortal fire, and so they are. I love that. You just believe it long enough and it happens. Like the Kuo-toa from D&D. They just invented their gods because you know what? We need a god of stale bread. There should be one. Phantom Visage. First level feat. One action has the traits Illusion, Occult, and Visual. Prerequisites. Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage. You cloak yourself in illusions to mask your nature. Your Phantom Visage is a specific alternate form of a small or medium humanoid ancestry prevalent where you grew up, typically human. Though it doesn't need to have analogous physical features to your natural goblin form. Your Phantom Visage counts as setting up a disguise for the impersonate use of deception. If you use any unarmed attacks you gain from a Goblin Heritage or Ancestry feats, while in your Phantom Visage, the illusion immediately breaks. You can maintain your Phantom Visage indefinitely, and you can shift back to your true Goblin form by using this action again. You can still throw your fire and use Figment. Those are not unarmed attacks. Ignition and Figment. Next feat, level 1, Tangle of Limbs. It has the uncommon trait, so it has access Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage or Tian Xia Origin. That means that any goblin can take that. You just have to have permission from your GM. Dokkaebi have a strong tradition of wrestling. You become trained in athletics and you gain the Titan Wrestler feat, which would be much more useful if they were medium-sized. If you would automatically become trained in athletics from your background or class, for example, you instead become trained in a skill of your choice. Okay. I mean, it's fun. And, like, it still lets you wrestle large creatures. So that's good. Yeah. Fifth level feats. Phantom Resemblance. Prerequisites, Phantom Visage. Frequency once per day. You can now draw your experience. Wow. You can now draw from experience to wear any face you remember. When you use Phantom Visage, you gain the effects of a third rank illusory disguise for 1 hour or until you shift back, whichever comes first. That's great, and is really common in the Tian Xia Ancestries and Heritages. Next level 5 feat, Glorious Gamtu. Just makes me think of Lilo and Stitch. Captain Gamtu. 1 action, has the occult trait, prerequisites, Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage, frequency once per day. You can access the mystical power that Dokkaebi refer to as a hat. You conjure a magical Gamtu hat, which is a magic item of light bulk. The Gamtu persists for 1 hour, and you can give the Gamtu to another creature to wear. Activate Hat Trick, 2 actions, manipulate, effect. You tap the hat and gain the effects of a second rank invisibility spell, which lasts for the spell's normal duration until the hat is removed, or until the hat's normal duration runs out, whichever comes after. After the spell ends, the Gamtu disappears. That is so neat! So, like, once per day, you can create this hat, hand it to somebody else, they activate invisibility whenever they want, within that hour. Okay. That's neat. I like that flexibility. It's a fun use of invisibility. He's resting on my hand, so I can't move that hand. So I have to be all awkward. 9th level feats. Goblin Club. This should really just be ripping off your own arm and hitting someone with it because it's funny. 1 action, has the occult trait, prerequisites, Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage, frequency once per day. You can summon a massive magic energy in your hand that, naturally, you use to smack those who offend you. You conjure forth a spectral Bangmangi club for 1 minute, which appears in your hands, though you can give it to another creature to wield. This weapon is a +1 striking Ghost Touch club. Oh wow, Ghost Touch, that's cool. At 13th level, the Bangmangi is a +2 greater striking Ghost Touch club. Okay, so it's not just like your hand becomes the club. You summon a club. Alright, cool. I can enjoy that. That's fun. Next level 9 feat, Whispers in the Night. Prerequisites, Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage. You weave your illusions with greater ability, allowing you to play tricks and slip through the night. You can cast Darkness and Ventriloquism as second rank innate occult spells, each once per day. That is totally fun. And Ventriloquism is great for distractions and messing with people. You could also, by 9th level, just throw a bomb to distract people. Just saying. And you can cast Darkness, but, you know, by 9th level, you can also just use a magic item. I guess I'm just not that impressed. Like, it's not something that is repeatable, either each once per day, and Ventriloquism is very niche in its usage. Meh. By 9th level, I don't think I'd take that. 13th level, Flames of Vision. It has the uncommon trait, which is from Access trait, Dokkaebi Goblin Heritage or Tian Xia Origin, and again, that just means that it takes away the uncommon trait if you are one of those things, but you can still use it with GM approval if you're not one of those things. Dokkaebi were among the first goblins to pioneer gazing through flames, spectral or physical, to cast their senses far and wide. You can cast Clairvoyance as a 4th rank innate occult spell twice per day. You see through the spell's eye... To see through the spell's eye, you must be staring into a source of fire. That's fun. Good flavor. Special, if you can cast Ignition, including from the Dokkaebi Fire feat, then you can cast that spell as part of casting Clairvoyance instead of the cantrip's normal effect. You conjure flames in your hand, which persist for the duration of your Clairvoyance spell as you gaze through. For you to gaze through. Cool. So you're just staring off into your magical fire and you see far away. That is useful. That's a good flexible, well, it's a good useful feat. Next feat, level 17, it's the last feat as well. Perfected Gamtu. It has the occult trait, prerequisites, Glorious Gamtu. Your hat embodies the illusory grandeur of a master Dokkaebi. Your Gamtu now grants its wearer a +1 item bonus to stealth checks when worn, and its hat trick activation can grant your choice of 2nd rank invisibility or 6th rank invisibility, which doesn't go away when you hit things, but doesn't last as long. In addition, the Gamtu can be removed while a hat trick is activated. Doing so removes the effects of invisibility from the original wearer, but the spell doesn't end. Instead, the effect continues to elapse. If another creature puts the GAM2 on, they're immediately affected by invisibility, which lasts for the remaining duration of Hat Trick, and that just seems like fun. What would you have to roll to hit? How would you roll to put the hat on an enemy so that their allies can't see them? And, I don't know, like rubber band it to their head. So that's it for the Dokkaebi Goblin. I probably mispronounced that the whole time. It's just what it looks like. I don't know. Dokkaebi? Dokkaebi? Something. That's a goblin. They're in Tian Xia. They're weird. Which is good. Illusions are really common in a lot of folklore, actually. But I've seen it in Japanese myth a lot as well. In specific. So it makes sense to me that it's a repeating theme in this book. But overall, I like the new little goblin. They have their own flavor, and it has been infused well. I wish that 9th level feat that gives darkness and ventriloquism gave 2 other, somewhat more useful spells. Thank you for letting me borrow your time. That's it for the Dokkaebi. I'm obviously putting out more videos because that's what I do. That's all I do now. Just put out videos and pet cats. If you're a patron, I really appreciate your presence and helping this channel succeed and thrive. It's amazing how much fast growth we've had lately. So thank you, you're a big part of that. If you want to see the rest of the Tian Xia playlist is here. And if you want to see my old builds, they're right here. Because they're fun. And as soon as I'm done with Tian Xia, I'll go back to putting out more builds. I have one ready. Okay, thanks, bye.